Ukraine rejects Russian demands to surrender the besieged city of Mariupol. As fighting in the strategic port continues, there's still no safe way out for trapped civilians. Ukraine's president calls Moscow's bombing campaign a war crime.
Russia claims it used a hypersonic missile for the first time in combat in Ukraine in this village behind me, destroying a military warehouse.
We investigate a potential new escalation in the war as Russia turns to next-generation weapons in Ukraine. And thousands turn out for a peace concert in Berlin as part of anti-war demonstrations across Germany.
The authorities in Mariupol say Russia has bombed a school where around 400 people were sheltering. President Zelensky says the siege of the port is a terror that will be remembered for centuries to come. The president also criticises Swiss firms who continue to do business in Russia, singling out consumer giant Nestlé.
Good food, good life.
Good food, good life. This is the slogan of Nestlé, your company that refuses to leave Russia, even now when there are threats from Russia to other European countries.
Fleeing the war across the Danube River between Ukraine and Romania, we follow those searching for a safer life.
Their thoughts as they reach safety themselves between one world at war and another world at peace are with those they've left behind in Ukraine.
How the ballet dancers of Ukraine are being offered shelter and new opportunities in Poland.
Graves by the street. Russia says Mariupol is suffering a humanitarian catastrophe and sets a deadline for the city to surrender. I'm Sami Zaidan. This is Al Jazeera live from Doha. So coming up,
people were living here, my friends were living in these houses, and so now there is no place where they can come back.
we're in Ukraine's second largest city, where train stations have become makeshift shelters and food is hard to come by. A call for Israel to take a tougher stand. Ukraine's president compares Russia's invasion to the actions of Nazi Germany. Plus, love amid war. We meet a couple in Kiev who have found reason to celebrate despite the conflict.
Japan's Prime Minister Kishido holds bilateral talks with Prime Minister Modi, announces that Japan will raise its investment target in India to 5 trillion yen or 3.2 lakh crores over the next 5 years. Russia claims the first use of hypersonic Kinzhal missile in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky says it's time for Moscow to begin peace talks, says it's time to restore justice. India's biggest oil company finalizes a deal to import discounted crude oil from Russia. The White House says this isn't a violation of the sanctions, but the world is watching where you stand. 25,000 government jobs. Punjab Chief Minister Cabinet in its first announcement. Chief Minister Mann chaired his first meeting after inducting 10 ministers in his cabinet.